My soul tribe, this is going to be another mini soul tribe reading. I've decided on days where I don't have time to do a full-blown, almost 2-hour soul tribe reading. No, seriously, my longest one is like 1 hour and 50 minutes. Anyway, I decided when I don't have time for that, that I want to do a check-in and just get a couple cards like yesterday. It wasn't so bad. I love you guys so much, and I love, you know, when I first post a soul tribe reading, I try and stick around and like be in the comments a little bit. Anyway, speaking of yesterday's soul tribe reading, we have Make Your Dreams Real on the bottom. And I just think that's interesting because of what we were talking about yesterday. And so many of you said, I know I'm a healer. I know I have a mission. Get to it. Put your gifts out there, you know? I'm not complaining about this. I'm not saying this person altered they didn't upset me or anything. But I wanted to talk about something that I came across last night, which is, I kind of vented to my friend a little bit about it, but it feels like soul tribe venting. It needs to happen in the soul tribe. But I came across, just after I, you know, was telling you guys to shine your light, that it doesn't matter, you know, even if it just reaches one person, that's all that matters. And to, you know, not do it for fame and attention and those things. I came across this person on TikTok who said, I'm just gonna, you know those TikToks where people are like, don't come at me, but I'm gonna say what everybody's thinking. Anyway, she was going on about how the most high vibrational people she ever met in her life never once said they were high vibrational. And that why are there so many like light workers? And to me, spirituality isn't about, you know, being in the spotlight. And I think she's, you know, as a light worker, like I saw a lot of comments. Anyway, let me finish my train of thought. So she was saying, you know, I don't understand why there needs to be people helping other people awaken and tell them how to heal and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I get where she's coming from. If she's talking about the people who are doing it for financial benefit and the wrong reasons, you know, like anyway, I'm thinking of that Twin Flame documentary I watched. But anyway, but why should people not talk about healing? Why should they not talk about light work? Why should they not share their light? Why is it okay for someone else to encourage others to dance, to learn a dance? Like you see TikToks of people, here's how you do this dance. Here's how you do this. Here's how you do that. What's wrong with people sharing information on how to be high vibrational? You know, she was saying kind of along the lines like, you can just be high vibrational. Well, that's news to me. I didn't know we could just flick a switch and be high vibrational, you know? I missed that part. Where was that in my uphill battle on the Hierophant stairs, you know? Where was that, where was that warp that you came across? I'm thinking of Mario 3. But why can't there be people out there? I know her point was about these life coaches, which get like, I'm not even going to go into that. There's so much judgment out there. It just drives me crazy. But why can't light workers be inspiring others? And she had people like commenting, yes, finally someone said it. I'm a healer. I read tarot, but I don't need to put myself out there. But no, you don't have to put yourself out there. But if you want to put yourself out there, there's a reason. I can tell you right now, a lot of what I channel, I don't realize I'm channeling it. And it's like a power higher than myself takes over and does this. Like, I just can't even explain that to you. I know those of you who know what I'm talking about get it. I can't even remember what my point was. Oh yeah, instant high vibrational energy. That reminds me of when I was in low vibrational energy and my mom would be like, just be happy, just make yourself be happy, just decide to be happy. And I know that we talk a lot about, you know, shifting your mindset to a happier mindset. And I agree with all of that. But what's wrong with people sharing that and trying to guide others, you know. I didn't even set out to guide anybody. Spirit made me do it. Spirit made me do it. I didn't want to do it. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I wanted to do it. Deep down, I wanted to do it. You know, it made me wonder, like, maybe she has a gift. You know, the biggest lesson that I'm learning is whenever I feel judgmental, I instantly why am I judging that person for that? Why am I judging them for that? And usually it's because of ego, or it's because of something unhealed in me. Maybe she has a gift that she's supposed to be sharing with the world that's not a viral video about how people don't need to be sharing their light. Anyway, on a side note, I went down a really weird rabbit hole, which was a waste of my time this morning on TikTok, and I just felt like describing it to another human being who understood my frustration. Again, it's not about me judging these two people. It's about me. It's about the energy that I'm in and like, what is the freaking point? But I came across a TikTok of a girl who was very upset because someone with a lot of followers basically copied one of her videos. I shouldn't laugh. She had a point that this better known, I didn't even know who either of them were, but this better known influencer made a video that completely copied hers and didn't give her any credit. I see her point. But the drama that went down over these videos, the drama in the comment section, because then of course I was in the comment section looking like, what is this about? Who is this person that made this video that's just like yours? And what's it about? You know? And in the end, it was just two women having an argument because they both made a video about how to look cute in a baseball hat. And I'm over here spiritually awakened like, what? What? I just got sucked down the rabbit hole over people who are worried about looking cute in baseball hats. Like, that's the type of mind frame that I'm in. I'm like in that soul tribe reading. For example, I was mowing my lawn today, and I'm a sensitive soul. Every time I saw a little bug fly in front of the ride-on lawnmower, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And I was thinking, like, I'm mowing down, like, I just awakened is hard. I'm mowing down beautiful flowers that are considered weeds, that insects are getting food from, and I'm mowing them down because I care about what my neighbors think about me, and I don't want them to like complain about the length of my lawn and have them call the city on me. Like, what? That's what I mean when you're awakened. It's like you start to look around and it's like, what is happening in this world? Like, I'm killing bugs and mowing down flowers for what? Like, you know, and I know that sounds a little extreme, but like I said, I was watching these two humans back and forth give me credit over my video about looking cute in a baseball hat. And I'm just like, you guys, there's like bigger things going on in the world, you know? Anyway, that was a weird rant. Anyway, let's get you a card. I'm not going to apologize. I want to apologize, but I'm not going to. And again, this is just me. Sometimes people, when I talk about like videos I see or comments that I get, when I want to talk about them, people say like, oh, when you talk about it, it just brings you down into the energy. But I want to talk about it. Like, I do want to talk about it. I'm trying to describe how it feels to be awakened and to look around at all the muggles. Anyway, it's a hard thing. Like, I'm trying to get used to it, but it's hard, you know? Anyway, I might as well just go to another part. Anyway, I guess my whole point was, after I made that video about you shining your light, and then I saw that, it was like, stop trying to discourage people from shining their light. Let's just let's just put a little spin on this. What if her, like, that's ego, like that's what I mean about the energy of ego, that low vibrational energy trying to take down light and high vibration. Like, maybe that's, I don't want to say her mission. Anyway, let's not let it take us down. Anyway, not that it's taking me down. I also don't have friends. Like, I mean, I do have friends now. I just felt the friends I have go, what? But these soul tribe readings that I do, the reason I talk about these things is because that's, if you were my friend and you were right here with me, that's what I talk to you about, you know? Anyway, let's get a card for you. We have protection, set personal boundaries. So for some of you, you could be learning to set boundaries. I know we've been talking about that a lot. Not allowing other people to take your power away, or not letting someone, for example, choosing you or not choosing you, dictate your worth. Set a boundary, you know, tell yourself, I'm not going to let that person's perception of me affect the way I see myself. I'm not going to let what happened with that situation stop me from experiencing abundance in my life, you know? Truly, the lesson that I'm learning right now is when it's removed from your life, it's for a reason. And I have to stress this enough, because the past few soul tribe readings, I'm not going to call anybody out. I'm not going to like put you on little spotlight or whatever. But I've seen a few of you write, you know, that you're in separation from someone who rejected you or didn't know your worth. And it's time to get to know your own worth. You know, it's time to realize your worth and to get into that mindset that they missed an opportunity, like they missed out on you. They missed out on your beautiful soul, you know? Anyway, I'm also hearing like rejection is protection. And I have to believe that when things are removed from our life, I have to believe it. It's for a reason. It's for a higher good. Spirit knows better. For example, this is a really weird example, but I'm kooky. I was watching some season of Survivor, and it was some season where someone could come back, redemption something. And this girl spent the whole time on redemption. I honor my responsibilities with joy. That's your affirmation. Anyway, this girl spent the whole time on Redemption Island working her butt off, getting every advantage that she could, so that so that she had an advantage in the competition. And in the competition, she completely fumbled the first part of the competition. And it basically made her advantages like not mean a thing, because she made such a bad mistake in the beginning of the challenge. But she ended up going back. She ended up winning that challenge. But it was almost like the universe said, you're going to make a mistake and I'm going to work now so that... Anyway, does anybody know what I'm trying to say? Because not even I do at this point. 26. And I tell you guys, those of you who are afraid of putting yourselves out there, or afraid of, you know, flying your freak flag, every time I do a soul tribe reading, every time my little ego monster comes in and says, you're rambling, you're ranting, nobody wants to hear what you have to say, nobody wants to spend time with you, nobody wants this, nobody wants that, you shouldn't post that, that's not relevant, nobody's going to watch that. And I just give my ego monster, I flip them the bird and I say, go away. Anyway, protection, boundaries, it's time to set them. So maybe you're needing to set boundaries in your life, you know? They say people can only mistreat us, like people mistreat us as long as we allow it. So perhaps you had to put up some boundaries. Perhaps I'm even seeing the energy of someone who grew up in a household where you had to have that defense, you know? I can really resonate with that image where she's curled up into a ball and she's got spikes all over her back because they didn't learn how to set boundaries. There weren't boundaries growing up. So this person had to learn how to protect themselves, you know? We don't need those spines anymore. We don't need our reactions. We don't need to defend ourselves anymore. What we need to do is we need to set boundaries so that we don't find ourselves in those situations where we are lashing out and reacting, things like that. Does that make sense? If you had a rough upbringing, my heart goes out to you. Big time. Small areas of ugliness are blinding you to the greater beauty that is your rightful environment. The girl of protection anchors herself softly in the present moment, yet her back of white thorns shields her from the negative naysayers of the outside world. She is not defined by her thorns, but she keeps them ready. Of particular significance with this card is setting an electronic boundaries. Spirit saying, be careful what you're consuming, Kelly, because I'm here talking about social media. Boundaries around phenomena like social media. At this time, people around you who have been allowed access to your space might not have your best interests at heart. So maybe you need to, lock down your stuff. Maybe you need to limit access to you. Protect yourself. Do not suffer fools, and do not be hardened by others' cruelty. Have compassion for their wounded souls, yet set firm boundaries. Just because they are hardened doesn't mean you have to be. Be soft but strong. So this, remember that set intention and going after your dream, all that talk? You're going to have to learn how to have a boundary like this, that you're not going to let people who you don't know in your comment section affect the way you see yourself, unless it's triggering you in a positive way. I've had lots of triggering comments that after I'm done being triggered, I get the lesson from it. But you're also going to have a lot of crap thrown at you, This is also the energy of, for those of us who don't know how to set boundaries, the universe sometimes removes those people from our life so that we set those boundaries because we weren't doing it ourselves, if that makes sense. Like total transparency with you guys. I've been trying to be transparent with you. I recently had to put up boundaries in my life, and I was repeating a cycle where people were making me feel like I wasn't worth their time and energy. People were making me, one person was making me feel like I wasn't worth time and energy. I wasn't worth that I had to ask for everything that I needed. Anyway, it was a really ugly cycle. And I spent a very long time apologizing for everything I could humanly apologize for, taking accountability. Looking back, some of the stuff that I took accountability for, I'm kind of ashamed of myself because I was very much in that chaser, pick me, I don't want to lose you energy. And the universe was trying to get me to put up boundaries. The universe was trying, like internally, my body was rejecting this connection. And I kept fighting it. So just remember that rejection is divine protection, and that if you don't learn to put up those boundaries yourself, I believe the universe, tower moments will happen that will cause those boundaries to come up anyway. Anyway, it's hard, especially if you grew up in a household where, like I always tell you guys, I didn't know what a boundary was until I was 35. I didn't know what a boundary was. I thought a boundary was like a fence or, you know, police tape or something. I had no idea what a boundary was. Anyway, and you know, when you grow up with childhood wounding and you don't know your worth, you put up with a lot of shit. So anyway, just going back to that card, if you are someone who's detaching from an energy, or you feel like there's someone in your energy that doesn't have your best interests at heart, maybe you do want to limit access to your social media. I don't know why I'm being called to say this, but some people use those types of things as like ammunition against you. So just, again, I don't know why I'm telling you that, but I felt like I needed to mention it. Especially if you're healing, you know? Anyway. Brazil could be symbolic. Become a loving mirror. Okay, so I'm going to read both of these because I think it's really important. I keep hearing I know I said it jokingly in a reading the other day, but I keep hearing I'm the love I've been looking for my entire life. So maybe you're the love you've been looking for your entire life. We have Orenda 22, honor your mystical creative force. There is a mystical force present in all people that empowers them to affect the world or affect change in their own lives. I'll just show the close-up first. Orenda appears when it's time to make a sacrifice in order to move into the next creative expression of self. The maiden contemplates her role in creation, the seed, the birth, the nurture, the release. This is on page 61. The other one was 71. Both in her ability to procreate and her choices of expressing her creative force in relationships, ... music, art, and food. She also, there's no word, there's no also there. She sits bathed in the light of the distant full moon, her mystical powers reflecting far into the past and far into the future. The sacred snake extends from her woven hair. Her blood is offered to it as a sacrifice. It is the sacred dance of creation to give life and in return have some of her own taken away, transferred, transformed. This card embodies the ancient goddess as she was depicted in the Garden of Eden as a primordial... I'm trying to see if there's an affirmation popping down for you. That's the only reason I look up. The bearer of the help me, omniscient, whatever that word is, serpent, the bearer of wisdom. If this card is drawn by a woman seeking to start a family, it confers pregnancy or fertility. I have 4 kids, I don't need any more. Orenda relates to all the sacred female cycles, the transitions of maiden to mother to crone, blessing them as divine and equally valuable and beautiful. I'm hearing maturing, you know, growing into your beauty. I'm not talking about gender. Anyway, beautiful. Creative force. So it feels like it's time to sacrifice something in order for you to get your creative energy out, whatever that means to you, whether it's sacrificing your fear of judgment, sacrificing what people think of you is fear of judgment. Take it as it resonates. And then we have Fergan. Become a loving mirror, 10. Wheel of Fortune energy. You know, I'm hearing be the love that you want to see reflected back at you. Treat yourself the way that you want to be treated. Again, I'm being called to mention that meditation that I listen to every night by John Moyer. There's this line that stands out, and I listen to it every night, so I know it's ingrained in my brain hole. But how you allow others to, how you... it's not ingrained that much if I can't think of it, but you have the ability, if someone's mistreating you, you have the ability to put up a boundary. You know, you have the ability to, if someone's mistreating you, like I said, you don't need that energy in your life. And you are a reflection of what you, I don't know why I'm hearing this, but think about it like being a reflection of what you deserve. So if the person looking back at you is mistreating you, then internally you're lacking self-worth there, because you do deserve more. And once you realize that you deserve more, and you realize that you have, like, when you learn how to love yourself and you have self-love and you start showing yourself that love, you very quickly realize that you only want the energy that reciprocates that, you know? Anyway, there's something about a reflection in that meditation. How people treat you is a direct reflection on, I just can't think of what the other thing is that he says. Anyway, 10, Fergan. Makes me think of Fagin from Oliver Twist. I don't know why. Yeah, I like Oliver Twist. And what? And what? The musical. And what? That is a good movie. Become a loving mirror. The simple, unselfish joy that comes from knowing something good has happened to someone else fulfills and heals the angry, self-pitying soul. So when something, and again, I was in victim mentality my whole life. And I felt a pang of jealousy when someone else experienced something good. Or had something good happen to them. You could even be someone who's struggling with that right now, you know? That shows you that there's something that needs to be healed. It doesn't mean you're a monster, you know? I used to think, oh, I'm a jealous person. I must suck. Like, I must be the scum of the earth because I have this jealous streak in me. No. What that jealous streak taught me is that I didn't have any self-love. I didn't believe in myself. Therefore, anybody else felt like a threat to me because I didn't know who I was. Truth. You know? I'm not even kidding. It's time for emotional unification and appreciation for self and others. When we delight in the well-being and success of others, we mirror these thoughts. As has been demonstrated and proven in the science of quantum physics, we become a part of what we identify and acknowledge. Unconditional appreciation for others' happiness is liberation. It touches our soul and reverberates through our experience of life like the delicate ripples across the person's heart. Oh, they meant because it's a man in this image. Okay, that's okay. It is time to be brave and to put your fear, resentment, jealousy, and anger aside and delight in the joy of others. Trust, I'm sending this message to my parents. Trust and know that by this simple contemplation and observation, your own heart is healed and restored, and your life will reflect the joy and success you see around you perfectly and uniquely. Beautiful. That's beautiful. So the only other thing I wanted to do, because I didn't even know what that was going to be about, was I want to get you one of these, for some reason I'm feeling called to get you one of these love oracle ones that I like using. These ones. So let's see what you need to hear, my friend. I haven't used it since the other day when we did a small little soul tribe reading with it. I don't think. Maybe I did. I don't know. We have release 13, death and rebirth, which is kind of what we were talking about today. So I'm actually going to take that card. And we have blossom, you know? So once you release things that no longer have a purpose in your life and are no longer flowing, anything that is like not working, it means it's not in flow. Then you start to blossom. And I have to mention, hang on. I have to mention that the 8-8 portal is coming up, and I keep seeing people talking about how whatever doesn't align with you, don't take it with you through this portal. Don't take it with you. Don't take it with you. Don't be tempted to take it with you, is what I keep hearing. So very important there to release what, stop fighting, stop fighting it. Stop, I don't know why I'm saying this, but stop fighting the people that you're trying to hold on to. Stop fighting the things that you're trying to hold on to. Just let go. Just let it go. Let it go. Don't hold me back anymore, because it's holding you back. And that doesn't mean it's going to be gone forever. It just means that right now you have blossoming to do, like that card said. Blossom after you release. Anyway, I am going to read this card, but I'm just going to get one for you. I'm going to get one more. So release, death and rebirth. And what else do we have? We have heal. Oh my gosh, beautiful. Change your focus inward on your own cups. This is 5 of Cups. Change your focus. Stop feeling, like you're alone, and start realizing that you're never alone because you have yourself. Stop focusing on people, places, things that no longer serve you. Turn that inward onto yourself, into your own cup, is what I'm hearing. But you had 2 major arcana cards come out. You have release, and now we have heal, 17, star energy. And the star card can be about releasing things that no longer serve you in order for you to heal and evolve. So I think that's interesting. 13 and 17. Release. Discard. It's on page 5-5. And, 5s can be about change, and it can be messy. So you'll be all right. We've got you. We've got you. We're all in this together. We're in different boats, but we're all in the same choppy waters. An opportunity for renewal around affairs of the heart. What? Remember how I said it doesn't mean that it won't come with, it doesn't mean if you let it go that it's gone forever. I just have to read this for those of you who are wondering about a renewal. Listen to this. An opportunity for renewal around affairs of the heart is available at this time, and it's quite possible that this renewal will happen through release. It's in letting go that you discover what remains, what is truly yours. Sometimes in relationships, you may feel the need to hold on tightly to those you love. We were just talking about that. Whether or not this love is returned. Who are you holding on to that doesn't want to be in your grasp? That's what I realized, that I was holding on to someone that didn't want to be in my grasp. So what the heck was I holding on for, And as soon as I released it, it doesn't mean they won't come back. It doesn't mean that I don't think about them, but it means that it was weighing me down. Anyway, and I'm having a renewal within myself, if that makes sense. Full transparency, soul tribe reading. This can lead to if you hold on to something that doesn't want to be there or is not being returned, this can lead to tension and unhappiness for all involved. Arguments, fighting, disagreements. Why don't you talk to me more? Why don't you want to talk to me? Anyway. Even in a good relationship, holding on too tightly doesn't allow the relationship to breathe, grow, and mature. And so many of us with childhood trauma are either anxious attachment, and we just attach like an alien or something, or we avoid, we run. Remember that card with the thorns on the back? We avoid. Anyway. Are you restricting someone or trying to attract someone through your will? Discard any need for control and see how the relationship transforms. Watch how releasing the overwhelming need for a relationship allows the perfect one to appear. So I ensure that I expand and improve. That's your affirmation. So like I told you guys, I was hanging on to someone who didn't want to be hung on to. And as soon as I released them, as soon as I let them go, immediately, I had 2 friends come charging into my life out of nowhere. So please, listen to me when I say that. It says, watch how releasing the overwhelming need for a relationship allows the perfect one to appear. And, now I've got friends that are messaging me all the time, and they don't have to. They just want to. They want to talk to me. They want to share with me. They want to talk to me when they wake up. They want to tell me goodnight. Like, it's just reciprocal human interaction, which is what I was wanting from the person I was holding on to. And as soon as I let go, it came to me, just not in the form that I wanted it to, like that I was manifesting, I wasn't manifesting it in the form, I was manifesting friendship. Anyway, this journey is something else. Shed any beliefs and behaviors that do not serve your highest good. Throughout life, we receive many mixed and often incorrect messages about how a relationship should work. I'm just making sure that's not an affirmation. Let go of any preconceived notions or expectations about your relationships or your lack of them. By doing so, your current relationships can flow and flourish in a way that is best for everyone. By being yourself, you also attract to you the relationships that will serve you best. This is also a card of possible endings. Are there relationships that you cling to that you would be better off leaving? In letting go of a stagnant or difficult situation, you empower yourself, opening the way for new and rewarding relationships. And your affirmation, I let go of expectations and open myself to relationships that flow and grow. And again, I don't want to get like super personal. Like that's not, I don't tend to get super personal. Like I know I get pretty vulnerable on my channel, but I just have to tell you what an important lesson that is. Once you let go of that person who you're fighting, who you're fighting with. Again, I was fighting with someone to be friends with me, to show interest in my life, to want to talk to me, to want to say good morning to me. And I was like, seriously. It was quite simple. I was looking for human interaction. I was looking for whatever. I don't want to go too much into it, but I got met with ego, and I got met with, how dare you expect that? And I held on to that for a really, 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 really long time. And again, the minute I let it go, shout out to my friend Carrie. I'm just going to call you out. I had this person come walking into my life who, without me ever saying, it was like everything I was saying to this person that didn't want to have any of my energy. It was like everything I was saying to this person, this other person walked into my life, this friend, and was all of those things. It was like, I felt like I had a Mary Poppins moment where I wrote a letter, like I wanted Mary Poppins to come, and Mary Poppins showed up at my doorstep. It was, and it made me realize how unhealthy that other thing was. Anyway, it is true that what you hold on to takes up space, and maybe it's trying to exit for a reason. It doesn't mean it's never going to come back. I don't want to I'm a believer, I believe in love. I believe in soul contracts. I believe in all of it. So I don't want to discourage anyone, but I also believe, especially right now for what I'm going through, is that we need to close out these cycles in order for there to be change and growth, and I was stuck in a cycle of repeat of asking someone to pay attention to me and give me love, and they were fighting me on it. And look, like, I just feel so, looking back, it's like, why was I doing that? Because I lacked self-love, because I lacked self-respect. Because I grew up in a household where I was constantly asking. it was triggering a childhood wound within me. And instead of learning the lesson and empowering myself, I just kept repeating the cycle. Anyway, again, I cannot stress how important it is to let go of the people who are not holding on to you, you know? Just let go. Let them. You know, the beautiful comments that you guys leave me are moving. Like, I screenshot them and I keep them. They mean a lot to me. They mean a lot to me, just so you know. Anyway, and we have heal, so let's read it before I start crying. So emotional. I wouldn't have myself any other way now. I wouldn't. You know? Normalize complimenting yourself. Normalize it. This is not the right book. Timeline shift. I looked up 17 in this book, which commune with the source. Nature holds all answers. The wisest witch knows her questions will be answered when she dives into the natural world without reservation. Like the girl of Minimus who is fused with the forest, it is your time to merge with source. Drop your stuff, your attachments. Oh my gosh! And be at one with nature. It's time to recommune with the raw, authentic self that was you when you were sparked into this existence, and what you will be when you transition into the next plane of existence. Minimus dips her fingers into the well of universal inspiration. This is a card of meditation. There's also a flip interpretation. Is she retreating or emerging? If this card is drawn during a period of solitude, it is a prompt that it is now time to emerge from the dark. If it's drawn during a time of intense activity and visibility, it's time to retreat into the shadows. So, however that resonates, I don't believe in accidents. When I open up a book like that, without even thinking about it, that's source, in my opinion, whatever that is for you. Where's the book that I actually need? I thought that was magical. Again, I see the lesson in everything. It's beautiful. If I'm triggered, I'm learning. Don't react. Why are you being triggered? Does it have to do anything with you, or is it somebody else's projections? Forgive, offer, receive, serenity, hope, inspiration. A peaceful, healing energy surrounds you right now. This is an ideal time to bring healing to your relationships and realize your hopes and dreams. This could be a card. This card could be presenting itself to ask you, isn't it time for forgiveness? Understand that no human being can ever be perfect. I am uncomfortable holding it like that. By accepting this, you're in a position to forgive yourself and those with whom you're involved. It's really funny because when I talk to you guys about what I go through, it's like I always talk about how I'm mad at myself, and I got to stop doing that. I have to forgive myself. I didn't know any better. I didn't know any better. It's how I was raised. I was raised to overgive and to shut my mouth and to not ask for more. And I need to forgive myself for that. Anyway, I need to forgive myself for repeating a pattern like 20,000 times before I saw it for what it was. Like, seriously? Sometimes those lessons, when they hit you, it's like you feel a little bit like an idiot. Like, oh, why didn't I see that like a year ago? I could have done so much more. But anyway, I don't want to... There's no point living with regret. Everything happens for a reason. Anyway. Understand that no human being can ever be perfect. I already read that. Forgive freely and without reservations, as blame and resentment are heavy weights to bear. By forgiving, you'll feel a weight lifted from your shoulder and become enveloped by deep serenity. You'll also give the gift of serenity to the other person. Don't just offer forgiveness. Also offer your love and thoughtful insight. Open non-judgmental dialogues with others, sharing what you've learned and how you've grown. By doing so, you'll encourage others to practice forgiveness. With hope for the future, forgiveness or relationships can blossom. Please know too that by forgiving yourself and embracing a hopeful spirit, you also invite new relationships into your life. At this time, be willing to receive the blessings that others have to offer you. Be willing to listen to their insights and their guidance. Listen objectively to what others have to say and act upon that guidance if it feels right for you. Be receptive to divine inspiration as well. It surrounds you at this time. Heal yourself, heal your relationships, and be at peace. And healing yourself, again, I think that we need to normalize healing ourselves before, we're telling like our kids, when are you going to get married? When are you going to give me grandkids? Look how well it turned out for all of us who were pushed down the path of, you got to do this and you got to get married and you got to have kids and you got to get a house and you got to get a minivan and you got to have a retirement fund. There's so many unhealed people, like, I don't know why I'm seeing it like this, like so many unhealed people running around out there unsupervised. I don't know why it came through like that, but anyway. Again, every time I do one of these readings, my ego monster is here telling me not to post it, but I'm going to post it. I'm going to go now. I'm going to go do another reading, but I'm sending you guys lots of love and light, and I will see you soon. Bye, my friends. You're my favorites. You're my favorites, and I love you. Bye. Have a good night. Have a good evening. Know that you're not alone. Know that you have a soul tribe here. Know that you have a kindred spirit, and that as long as you have your own back, you're never alone, and the universe has your back as well. I don't know why I'm feeling the need to say that to some of you, but just in case you don't have anybody to say it to you, I wanted to. So I love you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Kiss.